Welcome back, everybody, to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. Grandpa Gaming is episode 21 of our viewer unit only Federal Summer 61 campaign using the a.o.m mod. So, last episode was a little busy. We actually advanced the game to June 14th, made a bit of headway last episode, I'm happy to say. And we did fight 2 actions. It should have been 3, but we ended up fighting 2. The Army of Mississippi chasing down Crittenden's Corps and knocking them out of northern Kentucky. Was trying to keep them from heading into western Virginia, but looks like they retreated into that area anyway. Followed up by combat just outside of Charleston, Virginia, with the Army of the Ohio taking on the Army of Ohio. Like I said last episode, this the battle over here by Vanceburg Ferry was actually called the Battle of the Ohio River. So if the Army of Ohio and the Army of the Ohio had fought the Battle of the Ohio River, that would have been a great name for an episode. Now try saying it 3 times fast. But came up shy of a major victory. It was almost a loss for us. It was a very, very close battle. Very high casualties for both sides. Around 3,000 for both sides. A little over 3,000 for the rebels, almost to 3,000 for us. It was a very high cost battle for both sides. And now Hampton is on his way back up to Covington. So Army of Mississippi was already on its way there, so they're going to be able to intercept them without a problem. On top of that, the new Independent Cavalry Corps is finally formed up and on the move. It only consists of 5,700 cavalry plus a 6-gun battery, and they are now on the move way to St. Joseph for now to block off any move by Longstreet. Pierce hasn't made any moves whatsoever. Army of the Tennessee under Daywood is forming up with Army Vargas's new division, Liberty Legion, and they are 4 days away from forming up. So they'll be on the move this episode. Possibly. Depends on how big this fight here at Covington is going to be. Over here in the east, my grunts are still reforming after that last major battle that we had, so they're going to be out of action for quite a while. The Department of Western Florida, which was down in the Shenandoah Valley, has come up and taken Frederick after that last major action. Once we got pushed out of Virginia, they came up and retook Frederick. So we'll be able to handle that soon. The Engineer Corps has finally finished Fort Slocum out here on the Delaware Peninsula, and they are making their way back up and around to take over the construction of this fort down here. Once they arrive, the Army of the East will be freed up to head back over to Frederick and take on the Department of Western Florida. In the extreme, I can move the grunts, even though they have low readiness, but it is friendly territory. I will be able to move them to engage if I need to. I'm hoping not, because I need them getting fresh for a fresh offensive into Virginia. It's still June. We got 3 months of good campaign season left, so I'm hoping to use that. The Naval Squadron is ported up in New York Harbor, and they're repairing nicely up here. As soon as every ship hits at least 90%, so we're still waiting on the Cumberland, the Santee, and the Savannah to get up to 90%. As soon as they're ready to go again, we'll be sending them back down here towards Fort Macon, outside of Moorhead. So hopefully we can continue taking down these forts on the coastline. All right, I think that covers everything for right now. So we do have 1 fresh unit to recruit in, plus some things for the historical records. So just a reminder, everybody, these videos are always chaptered, so skip around to whichever part you so choose. All right, we have a new unit here for Ridiculous Lunatic. And he's a Southerner, so we're going to recruit this unit out of West Virginia, get him as close to Southern as we can. West Virginia actually does not exist yet, but we can recruit from it. There's 20,000 men available, and we haven't actually recruited anybody from there yet. So, recruit them out of there. Oh, and there's Tuttle. Yep, sorry, buddy, you're not getting command of this. So, Tuttle was in command of one of these batteries. I'm going to explain what happened there in a second, but let's switch over to Commander. What if we have anybody from West Virginia or Virginia available? I don't think we can actually recruit officers from West Virginia. No, we should have some Virginians, though. Oh, what happened there? Yeah, I know we had some Virginians available. Look at that. George Thomas right off the bat. He'd actually be wasted as a brigade commander. But he's the most senior one available. He's a professional, which means McClellan's going to want him. So following the rules of the campaign I have set thus far, he gets the job by default. So get yourself a new brigade. And these are the Spicy Balloon Brigade. I'm going to give you fair gray with sky blue trousers. And 1861 Springfields. So that's what everybody gets until I get more modern rifles. So sail onto the Spicy Balloon Brigade under George Thomas. Not sure where they're going to go as of yet, but they will be going somewhere. And the 1st Polish Legion is 7 days away from completion. Now, the batteries, these are all the batteries I sent home to replenish their numbers and hopefully get them up to battalion strength. That did not happen. The 1st New York Light came back, or the 44th New York. The 44th already came back, and they were under strength. Actually, you get a promotion. So I just disbanded all those batteries, even if they're away at home, recruiting more troops, and I just reformed all the batteries. And they're actually still coming back in about the same time, except for the blacksmiths. I think I added 20 days onto them, but it is what it is, just to get them up to full battalion strength. And not all of them have the same commanders anymore. When I disbanded some of these units, because of the experience the batteries had gained, the officers were auto-promoted by the game engine. So when I went looking for those same officers, they were actually promoted to colonel and higher, so I wasn't able to put them back in charge of the batteries in most cases. So 44th, I was able to get Patrick O'Donnell back. Whiskey Kegs now has Champlin. Oh, no, he stayed the same, and you need a promotion also. Jeremy's Crazy X is now headed by Doubleday because their commander got promoted to colonel. Same with the Iowa, or the Banger Bangers. Their commander was promoted to colonel also. And the same with the Iowa Blacksmiths. Their commander was also promoted, and the same with the 1st New York Artillery. Their commander was promoted also beyond having command of an artillery battalion. So they'll get back in the game. Don't know when, but they'll get back in the game. As positions open up in the brigade commands, they'll get back in. All right. That's it for recruitment, so we're going to go jump over into the historical record now. An article from the Daily Courier, dated June 14th of 1862. Union offensive continues unopposed. Confederates in a wild retreat. Female officer to lead female troops against the Confederates. The Union Army continues its summer offensive with a series of extremely successful battles against the Confederates. The Army of Mississippi would find its glory fighting against the Confederate Army of Eastern Tennessee along the border of Ohio and Kentucky. The Union Army was able to successfully push back Crittenden's forces from the area and keep Ohio safe from further Confederate attacks. This combined with a battle fought just to the east at Charleston, Virginia. This battle sees the Union Army of the Ohio attempt to seize the city of Charleston from the Confederate Army of Ohio. The brutal fighting would take place over the course of 2 days, resulting in the total casualty count rising to over 6,200 men on both sides. Along with this amazing news of the continued march against Confederates resulting in numerous Union victories, it appears the Union Army is being formed that is shockingly employing female troops. News of Ami Vargas has captured the nation. The story of the first female Army officer spread when she was assigned command of the Infantry Brigade, formed the men she raised, called the Freedom Fighters, originally drew eyebrows towards Union generals who made this reckless decision. Further shock and some outrage poured out when it was revealed back in May that Vargas would be given command of an entire infantry division and newly formed Army Corps, despite never having seen combat firsthand. Across the country, there was outrage as to how a female politician was able to even secure an Army commission. Given her natural identity, managed to secure an even higher position in the U.S. Army. When asked about the rumors regarding her ability to secure an Army commission, she was quoted saying the following: "I fought for the right to fight for my country, and recruiters saw that fire in me. That is all." While many are skeptical to what she will be able to accomplish, there are those out there that wait with hopeful optimism as to what she will achieve. From the Journal, a journal of Tom R. Daywood, dated 28 June of 1862, outside Chicago, Illinois. It is with a heavy, albeit quiet a heart, that I take pen to paper tonight. The news from home has arrived in full and final form. Eleanor and the children have arrived at her father's estate in New York. The letters were respectful, even kind, but firm. There is no ambiguity in her words. The decision is made. Our marriage, stretched and battered these past 2 years, has finally given way. I cannot say I am surprised. War has a way of revealing the distances that time and silence dig between two people. And in our case, I suppose, there was more silence than I care to admit. My solicitor, Mr. Henley, writes he has found a buyer for the horse farm outside Winona. He assures me the terms are generous given the state of things. That land held my sweat and tears. It is strange to imagine it will soon be another man's burden. So be it. I cannot see myself returning there now. Minnesota is becoming a chapter, and like all chapters in life lived long enough, it must end. My duty remains here, in this godforsaken tide of mud, blood, and indecision. The summer air here carries the scent of industry and lake water, but little comfort. I sit in our makeshift headquarters above a tailor shop on State Street, listening to the clatter of wagons below and the occasional whistle of the trains that will soon carry men into battle. My staff occupies the adjoining rooms, busy with logistics and maps. But the soldiers have not yet arrived. I am waiting for the 1st Division to come up from Missouri. An army in name only, for now. Yet this week I received word of something that sits more uneasily me than even the news from home. The War Department has appointed Brigadier General Ami Vargas to command the 1st Division of my army. A woman. I had to read the dispatch thrice to be sure it was no jest. It is no jest. McClellan signed off on it himself, and she brings female soldiers as well. Let me be plain. I have long believed the field of war to be no place for a woman. Not for lack of courage, perhaps, but because war is a brutal and disfiguring thing, and I have never thought it right to bring womanhood into it. It defies the natural order as I have known it. I feel blindsided, undermined, and yes, betrayed. The men will talk. Discipline will be tested. Order may fray. But I am a soldier, and a soldier follows the chain of command, whether it pleases him or not. So I will meet General Vargas when she arrives. I will salute her. I will judge her by her conduct and competence, as I would any officer. I will not show the army that I flinch, even if inside I bristle. War changes many things. Perhaps it must change me too. Once again, thank you to everybody that decides to send in letters, diary entries, newspaper clippings to add to the background of the story. They're always much appreciated. Make this game so much more fun for me to play through. So, can't control the thoughts of everybody on the map, but it helps when other people do help with the writing on that one. All right, so we got the map rolling. Actually, let's turn the music back on before I forget. There we go. Like I said, the next combat should be over here at Covington, probably followed up by a combat somewhere in Maryland. I'm not sure if it's going to be at Frederick or not, but it should be there. Hopefully, Fremont, the great Pathfinder, doesn't take too long finding his path over to Army of the East location. I'm really thinking I need to do something about this squadron in the river here. Now, I'm going to keep following the rules I set in place, so I'm probably going to be able to deal with that anytime soon. It'll probably be a little while, so I'll be back. Alright, it is now June 19th, and the Army of Tennessee is now taking the field. And I'm having to change the plans with them. They are no longer headed to St. Louis, as there are several rebel forces on the move here. Looks like a bunch of them have retreated back into Chillicothe after the last battle. They retreated out of Western Virginia and back this way. I think they're here at Chillicothe. Not too positive. Plus Hampton's Corps slipped past us. We kept moving into Covington. They actually cut across the woods here and crossed at the Maysville Ferry, I think. There's an Army headquarters. So their corps is somewhere in this area. So, change of plans for right now. We're going to rail line them. Because we need some support here over in West Virginia. Because we're at a dead standstill with the Army of Ohio right now, so they need help. Yeah, we're going to rail line them over to Cincinnati and then move them east from there. And hopefully finish putting out, because this is Crittenden sitting here. So we need to push him out, take Charleston. Yeah, Charleston. Almost screwed up the name. We need to take Charleston and handle whatever's in this area. So this will be the first test of this new force of women and freedom men. And the Independent Cavalry Corps has arrived in St. Joseph, but I think I'm going to leave them there for now, as they do not have the numbers to take on Longstreet. Longstreet has 19,000 men and 30 guns. We got 5,700 cavalrymen and 6 guns. Wow, the rebels have a lot of troops out here that they are just not using. At all. Interesting. They have many troops out here doing nothing in Missouri as they have fighting in Virginia. Plus departments of Alabama and South Carolina, which have not moved at all. They got to get sidetracked. So we could take them. We could take on Longstreet with 13,900. Can't do it with 5,000. Combined, they can do it easily. Same thing with the Western Army. Last sighted July 22. It's June 9th. So that information's a year old. So Lord knows where they are right now. All right. Trying to keep pushing. Plus, I didn't catch it, but the rebel army at Frederick moved straight east towards Baltimore and it besieged the Fort White. And the Engineer Corps got caught up in that siege. We only have a 49% chance of victory, really. All right. So, Army East is still stuck in place right now. So, we're going to shove the grunts up into this action. Probably bring this over to a full-on combat. If we can. If it's not too late. Morale's determined. It's at 84. So it's just the readiness is low. Things are happening on the map. Where I thought I was getting ahead of the rebels, it's like it feels like 2 steps forward, 1 step back every time. But let's see what goes on up here. And I hate that our readiness is so low. I need them in Washington getting their readiness back up to push back in Alexandria. Then again, it's Pope. He wouldn't be thinking like that either. McClellan in charge. Pope is his ally. He didn't want them sitting steady in Washington and not advancing over the border. You're running out of supplies. Had to build a supply depot for him. They want to spend the money on it, but we need to build one for him. Tennessee's on the move. The rent's going to be a little low when they get to Cincinnati, but that's fine. They can rest up for a few days, get it back up before we push them back east further. And hopefully the rebels at Chillicothe won't be ready for a fight, and they'll just move out of the way. I don't think that's going to be the case. Not knowing Longstreet and the Western Army are up to are a little disconcerting. I need to know what the hell they're up to. Come on, Pope, get them up the road. Need to get the engineers moving again. There we go. Arriving in 5 hours, so we can wait for that arrival to make sure my men are on the map. You take it over to a battle now. The rebels could push us off the field before the grunts get on it. So I'll come back in once we're ready to... Oh, we just won that siege because we showed up. There we go. Didn't even have to bring it over to a regular battle. All right, grunts back down to D.C. The Great Pathfinder, keep moving down to the fort. And then we'll get the Army to east back over to Frederick, where it belongs. And then possibly up into Harper's Ferry or Winchester, which they'll be stuck at until this fort's complete. Because I do need a fort built here around the Winchester area. I need a fort kind of down here at Harper's Ferry is where I need it, really. Because it takes 2 forts over, because of the way the terrain's set up, you can't like build a fort right here, which would be nice to block all these roads. You just can't do it. You need like 2 of them, like one up here and one over here. It's annoying. And Fremont's moving fast. I'm amazed. All right, I'll be back with the next incident. All right, it's now June 21st, and we have our next engagement here, and it is the Army of the Ohio going up against Hampton's Corps of the Army of Alabama, plus the Army of Eastern Tennessee, under the overall command of Army of Alabama, which is led by Johnston, Albert Johnston. Oh, these men are not ready for this fight. Hopefully it's a defensive battle. We're bringing 19,252 infantry, 1,643 cavalry, and 29 guns. Up against 21,781 infantry, 3,978 cavalry, and 27 guns. We cannot surrender the territory that we've won. I don't think the Army of Eastern Tennessee is going to be much of an issue, as their morale should be low, but they may have had a chance to recover it at this point. AI armies recover faster than ours. Army of Eastern Tennessee's just arrived, or Army of the Tennessee's just outside of Cincinnati at this point, so you're not going to be getting over here. But if we can win this battle and force these forces off, I can get the Army of the Tennessee into Charleston and then move them back west again where I need them. I don't want them getting sucked into this combat out here in the Eastern Theater. All right, let's jump in here and see if we can hold on to what we have won so far. Welcome, my grunts, to the second battle of Charleston, Virginia. So we are on the defensive. We are defending back here at Somerville Road. And we are on the Carnifex Ferry map, so we do have time before the rebels arrive. They're coming in from this road here, and arriving in 1 hour. So both armies will be on the field at the start of the battle, basically. So, I mean, we do have a very large deployment area. I could push all the way up to the river and defend the cliffs, but that's just honestly on this map. Number one, it'd be a really cheesy way of winning. A really cheesy way of winning. Plus, with the way the terrain is set up, and I've defended this location before firing down into the river, and it doesn't work out as well as you would think. It really does not work out too well. You waste a lot of ammunition trying to defend those areas. What's our morale at? We're at 31 to their 44. Yeah, they can't get us over here. They have to come all the way down here. So they only have the one approach path. They have to use this road to get to us. There's only the one crossing. So that works out for us. Yeah, I think we defend here. We could defend up here and let them come up the cliffs at us. That's actually not a bad choice either. Terrain would favor them a little bit. It would be slightly downhill, but I'd want to use this fence line as it's the longest one available. Or actually, defend along here. That actually looks like a better option. Really no good place to set my guns, though. Yeah, I think this field back here would probably be our better option. I know not all these forces are in good condition. Which is good. I can't put everybody on the front line anyway. Second Division. Come over here. Yeah, like Delco Fencibles are not in great shape. Engineers, where are you? We got plenty of time to dig in. 1,600, not going to be here before the end of the day, so we got plenty of time to dig in. Delcos are not in good condition, and Constitution, they got ripped up in the last fight. They took over 50% casualties. They were over 2,000 men. They're down to 1,150. Place both batteries here in the center. And we're going to have issues over here because of this damn stream. These three brigades look fine. Again, some cover from the stream. Not everybody's going to have cover. Just the 4 or 5 blocks of infantry on this side of the wing. Sixth infantry. You're probably in better condition than the... Nope, cheeseheads took a... harem guards took a beating also. They're under 1,000 men now. We'll hold you reserve. I'm going to be here in the center to support the artillery. Cheeseheads will hold you here. Second mass will be over here. Cavalry. Yeah, I'm going to hold the cavalry out here. Just in case the rebels get a hair and try to come through the woods over in this direction. Because we've seen them try to do some crazy stuff in the past. All right, I think that accounts for everybody. Mostly, it should be pushing down this road here. So the most stable division's basically going to meet them. What's your fire going to be like from here? Not much better. I'd rather have you guys back in cover. Get back over here in the center. I think that's it for now. I'll get these breastworks under construction and wait for it. There'll definitely be a day 2 fight. It's already 16:30. They're not going to reach us before the day's over. So I'll be back. All right, we hit the end of the day, and it's now day 2, and the rebels have not reached us at all. And my engineers have been very busy bees. They actually built an entire line of breastworks over here before the end of the day. We're actually just getting started on a second and final set across the stream here. It looks like we lost somebody wounded overnight, McCook. Commander of the Harem Guards. They're unstable units, so I think, and 63 men went missing overnight. Ooh, I think there was a small mutiny in camp is what happened to McCook. Ooh, how many men did that lose overnight? 476 men overnight. The rebels lost 550 overnight. So we're both down 2% of our force on overnight attrition. Ooh. My morale's still at 35. The rebels have gone up to 42. They were actually at 39 at some point during the late day. But I have made one shift over here. I did send the second mass from my right flank to my left. Actually, I'm going to replace the fencibles with the second mass. Because the fencibles are just not in good shape.
Stay down, boys.
And I wish I had somebody to replace the Constitutions with, but I have the Cheeseheads off on this flank. They just finished building a set of breastworks for themselves. I thought they would get full experience to the next level. They're just a tiny bit shy there. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. They're just a tiny bit shy. But one volley of fire from them should give them enough XP to get that next level. So we'll hold off on that.
Stay down, boys.
Yeah, it's probably mostly 137 men out of the Delcos. It's probably mostly 2nd Infantry that took the most casualties overnight. $476 men went missing. Oh, good God. 34 from the engineers, 22 from the cavalry division. That's actually not bad. 2nd Infantry Division had 231 men go missing. The 6th Infantry Division had 128 men. Yet these are the two divisions that are low on morale. That makes sense. 4th Infantry only lost 32 men. The 3rd Arty Division lost 29 men. That means we lost 3 guns out of our 2 batteries. Oh. Another shift I made is I sent the cavalry over here. I actually missed this on my map recon. There is a ford here that I thought Crittenden's men were going to head to as he came in on the map over here. But he kind of, by the dust trails, he just kind of stayed in this corner, like marching in circles for 3 hours. The other rebel force, something I didn't notice is there's only one crossing point on this side of the river if you don't have engineers. You could build a pontoon bridge here, but there is no ford. There's no fords anywhere along this river except for here where there's a bridge. And the rebels came down here, and my units did it themselves in the last fight we had here, and they're trying to cross here, but there's no ford there. So they just kind of got stuck on that side of the river. So I'm hoping. Doesn't show me that they built this pontoon. I'm kind of hoping they did. That or they came across the river. No, that is not built. So hopefully on the overnight reset, they actually came across up here or over here. Let's hit play and see where they are. Otherwise, this is going to be a very long wait for the rebels to retreat off the field. This is really what it'll come down to. No, they're still on that side of the river. Oh, there's some units over here. Okay, I think that's a residual dust cloud from yesterday. Okay, it looks like they put everybody across here, but they're stuck on the cliffs. Okay, we won't have too long to wait for these fellas. Makes you wonder what they did with Crittenden's men. They're still up here in the corner. But are they finally moving down towards the ford? They move towards the fort. I'm not worried about holding it. My 2 cavalry brigades, 6,000 men down here in low ground, 2 cavalry brigades with sharps rifles. It'll just be a shooting gallery for them if they even make it there. This might be done before the rebels arrive. Probably not, but we could hope. All right, so I'll be back once they come into sight of us. All right, it's now 5:40 in the morning. The first rebels are coming into the side of our artillery, and the 12th Arkansas is leading the way. It's just my 20-pounders firing for right now. The 10s should be picking it up here soon. They're now shifting off. That's something I was kind of worried about. So I did actually kick out more skirmishers in this direction, just in case something like that did happen. Kind of had an idea it would. What's Crittenden up to? I may pull the cavalry back. I don't know which way he's going yet, so I really can't move my cavalry. They're here and here, getting onto the roads. I don't know if they're coming down this way or not. There's Senior Brigade. Who's behind them? Walton. Look how fast those engineers. When you get a level 3 engineer unit, they work nice and quickly. All right, Rochester, get up on the wall. And the engineers, when they're done building, will take up this flank position. You know, I moved the second mast over here to pull the Delcos off the wall, but I probably should have left them over here. Too late now. It looks like it'll still be a little while before we get anything cooked off, so I'll be back. All right, it's now 6:40 in the morning. It looks like the rebels are changing tack again. It looks like they just kind of marched up through the trees here to avoid the artillery fire, but it's having the adverse effect of disorganizing their forces now. We have been doing some counter battery fire. We've already removed the Mississippi Light Battery from the field, and somehow the Point Coupee artillery is reaching. They have brass guns. My 20-pounders can barely reach here. Whatever they have in brass guns should not be able to reach us from back there. Anything with that type of range is going to be iron, and they don't have iron. So it looks like they're going to march right out into the open for us. You boys lay down. I had pulled the second mast off the line to start shifting them back this direction, but it doesn't look like that's going to be necessary. You boys, get up on the wall.
Move! I'll cover!
I hope they march in right here. I got a nice little crossfire with this division going on. So the 4th has got a good crossfire.
That flank, soldier.
There's that other force. Yep, they are coming, making their way down this road here. They're not going towards that southern ford. Or eastern ford. I'll hold them in place for now. Oh, if they're following that road, that dead ends. They got to get over here to cross. Ooh. I don't think Critton is going to be getting into this fight. There's the Army commander. There's Johnston. Riding right at my men.
Keep that head down.
Too bad we can't target him directly. Yeah, is that Senior Brigade? The Senior Brigade's heading right for the Rochester Racehorses and the Brass Bandits.
Forward, steady. Move! I'll cover! Observe that flank.
Ooh, it's my artillery targeting. They should be targeting the batteries. But they're targeting the infantry again. Ugh. You boys are about to be in for a very bad day.
Keep that head down.
All right, Rochester. Stand up and feed them some breakfast. Same with you bandits. And Johnson's right there, so maybe we'll take him down in the fighting. Hey, his staff's getting hammered. think Johnson knows this is a bad idea, and yeah, he's gone. He just self-deleted his entire staff. Ooh. I should have just knocked out the morale of their army, but it did not. Knocked them down to 35. Oh, hey, he just reappeared. He should not be... He's got to be dead or wounded. He's got to be. No, somehow he's surviving that. Oh, Robertson has command of Army of Eastern Tennessee now. Did we take down Crittenden? I think maybe we didn't. I forgot. But how the hell Johnson just survive all that? He's kind of there getting shot. There's no way he survived all of that. Oh, he's wounded now. There we go. All right, boys, lay back down for now. Get comfy. Take a break. The way they're marching the army onto the field, this is not going to be a big one. Here comes Featherston. I mean, if they want to march over here, I'll let them. You know, they're nice and jumbled up over here. Cheese heads. Let's go. Second mass. They're nice and masked up. We just sit right here and fire into that. Just make it a bad day for some southern homes. Lay down and reload, boys. Brigades swing out. Actually, Civil Warriors swing out. I mean, they're making a gift of this mass of troops. It'd be impolite not to accept that gift. She says it's still not moving yet. These guys don't really get into action too much. We're trying to get them into action this fight. This fight's not going to last much longer, so we're going to try and get them in. Twelfth Louisiana. Brigade's in range too. Perfect. Johnson's staff just like, let us die out here. Boys got some distance. Double time it. Yeah, his armor's broken already. Come on, cheeseheads, get up here. You just need to get one good volley to get your first perk. Come on.
Shoot the one on that horse.
Iron Brigade, let's go. You're missing on the fun. Look at that massive gun and cavalry. Come on, cheeseheads. You got a target-rich environment if you get up here in time. #12th Arkansas. What are you boys doing? Let's go.
Get that dirty rebel. Get that dirty rebel. Come on, man. Don't fall behind.
Here we go, Iron Brigade. Get some.
Come on, man. Don't fall behind.
All right, cheeseheads, we got a nice little gift here for you. Do not screw this attack up. There we go. There's your first perk. All right, Iron Brigade, advance. Mass advance. Hear me yell, shoot the one on that horse. You're firing at cavalry, should be shooting at everybody on a horse.
Keep firing.
I was talking about Henry. That's it. They should start withdrawing soon. Too far away from your division commander. Keep pushing forward. Come on, UCW, move up. Start wiping these batteries out. Ooh, you got your first perk, good. You guys been doing well this fight then. Come on, Shank, get your boys up. There we go, wipe those batteries out. Is that Beal? Come and get some, Beal. Keep pushing them, boys. Make them bleed from the last battle. On, she said, do not break on me. They are withdrawing. Keep up the fire. Arm Brigade, hang in there. It's the end of the fight. I'm surprised Johnson still has a staff. Ooh. Well, game purposes, they can just get rid of the staff, so. That staff is just deleted from the field in real life. There they go. 6 minutes on the clock, but we're not going to be getting anything else out of this. Would have been nice to grab the major victory, but we're just not going to get it. Looks like we got everything but one battery got their guns. That's all she wrote, so let's just speed this along. I think I was a little more worried about that battle than I should have been. This map is not good for the AI at all. It's a fun map to fight on. It's just not good for the AI. This should have been a much, much closer battle, but then trying to get their troops to me just kind of killed their morale and cohesion. Plus, the way they were coming on the field, they just kind of left me an opening to just run in there and grab it. I really did not fight this battle the way Dix would have fought it. Dix was a very defensive-minded man. A very, very poorly defensive-minded man. So I did not fight it out the way he would have. Probably should have. Then again, that would have resulted in, the surrender of my army if I fought like him. So we lost 950 of our 19,244 infantry. Remember, over 400 of that is guys who ran away overnight. 22 of our 1,642 cavalry. Once again, those are 22 deserters. 3 of our 29 guns, because we did lose 3 guns for overnight desertion because we lost that many men. Total loss of 1,014 of our 21,310 men. We took down 3,100 of the 22,000 rebels. They also had overnight attrition. I'm not sure how much. 450 of their 4,100 cavalry, 20 to 30 guns. Total loss of 3,700 of the 27,000 men they had available. All right, time to go through the reports. Engineers actually got no shots off because they didn't head off to that flank like I thought they would. Cavalry did not. And we already went over their runaways, so we won't go through that again. UCW did 64 to infantry, 26 to artillery for a total of 90. They're only brigade from that division that fought. They had 4 go missing with the overnight attrition. 6th Infantry, Harem Guards did not fight. 2nd Mass did 412 to infantry. Cheesehead Infantry did 349 to infantry, 234 to cavalry, 128 to artillery for a total of 730. Wow, they did a lot more damage than I actually thought they did. It didn't look like they were doing that much over there, but they did a lot. Division total of 1,125. Losses, Harem Guards, they had the 63 go missing overnight. 2nd Mass, 13 dead, 47 wounded, 30 missing overnight, total of 90. 4% casualties, aggregate strength 2,280. Cheesehead Infantry, 16 dead, 70 wounded, 59 missing overnight, total of 145. Aggregate strength 2,344, 6% casualties, 5% for the division. 4th Division. Iron Brigade did, these are all the skirmishers that off on the flank. Iron Brigade did, wrong one, 378 to infantry. Rochester Racehorses did 652 to infantry. And the Brass Bandits did 352 to infantry. Losses, Iron Brigade, 34 dead, 136 wounded, 59 missing, total 229. Aggregate strength, 1,657, 12% casualties. Rochester Racehorses, 10 dead, 56 wounded, 9 missing, total 75. Aggregate strength, 2,080, 3% losses. Brass Bandits, 8 dead, 48 wounded, 26 missing, total of 82, 2,081 aggregate, 4% casualties, 5% for the division. All right, Commanders, I don't think we had anybody get wounded. I didn't see if we did or not. No, we lost none of our officers, so let's see if we got any of them. We know we got Johnston. Johnston's wounded. Fields Division had 1 brigade in it. We killed Brigadier General Hindman. And the other army did not get up, so wounded the army commander and killed the division commander. I thought we would, the way they were all massed up over here, I thought we would have gotten a few more of their officers and all that crossfire. Sadly, we did not. I'll get closed out of here, and I'll see you all at the newspaper screen. Victory at the Second Battle of Charleston. Army of Alabama fleeing in panic. General Johnston actually lost face. Not only was he wounded, but they blamed the loss on the actual army commander for once. Thank you. I love it when I see that because he deserves that blame. Second Battle of Charleston's end. The Army of Alabama retreating in panic, along with the Army of East Tennessee. The enemy is reported to suffer total casualty of 3,687 men. There were 548 killed, 940 captured. Our casualties total 1,014 men, with 86 dead, 564 missing, and the rest are wounded. We've captured 1,592 rifles and 4 guns from the field. Sent 911 soldiers off to our POW camp. They're the first new arrival since we didn't empty out the POW camps last episode. Or the one POW camp that we have. I wish I could dismantle it, but I can't. And that puts the Army of the Ohio down into the red. They are going to be stuck in place for a long time, which is why the Army of the Tennessee is on its way to go secure Charleston. It'll probably piss off the men of the Army of the Ohio, but we do need to get into that city as soon as possible. Now, I know there's rebel forces over here at Chillicothe. Hopefully they just move out of the way of the Army of East Tennessee, or the Army of the Tennessee. But we are going to end this episode here, as I'm basically out of record time. So, I actually kind of want to keep this episode going. I just don't have the record time to do it with. So, once again, if you're a new viewer, returning viewer, you're not yet subscribed, please think about hitting that subscribe button. If you do, remember that bell icon so the next video comes out. If you follow along in the series and enjoying it, don't forget to bayonet that like button, butt stroke that comment section. And as always, you don't even need to be a channel member. You can only be a viewer. Just please be subscribed to the channel. You can request a unit to fight in one of my armies. Just let me know in the comments below. Type of unit, state it's from, weapons, uniform, officers, and I'll oblige on all counts if possible. And I'll see you all at the next episode. Stay grumpy.